Hello. Right now it is August the 15th and it is 3:07 p.m. That is the time right now. So basically the thing that I wanted to say and start off with is to ask the courts the question. Imagine a trial where law enforcement goes over to the person, a woman, and says there is potential for billions of dollars involved that artificial intelligence has marked. And your daughters are not getting a single penny of it, and other people's daughters might, your daughters are not getting a single penny of it, and nor are you. And that woman, due to hearing this from law enforcement, enviously starts fabricating false testimonies against the accused over and over and over again, while sending the accused advertisements for her daughters. Let me just show you the kind of advertisements that this psycho woman, Ferd the Greedy Framer, has just been sending me today and yesterday. This is just from yesterday. This is August the 14th, 7:32 p.m. Okay, this is yesterday. It's the same thing for a Greenville, South Carolina commercial, and it is basically showing a girl resembling her daughter, except her daughter is really abnormal looking and really, really ugly. And it basically says in the ad, it says, put your grandma's cooking to shame, something like that. So now that she understands that her daughters are extremely ugly and abnormal looking, she wants me to go buy someone's cooking or something, and she is advertising that to me. Really annoying. Today is August the 15th, and the same exact thing for today at 12:40 p.m. Okay, same exact ad for her daughter. It says, we put your grandma's cooking to shame. Since Ferd the Greedy Framer realizes that her daughters are abnormal looking and ugly, and I have absolutely no interest in them, now she's advertising that they're really good cooks or something of that sort of nature. Not only this, she, before, this is from July the 14th, has already tried to advertise her daughters in the most sexually explicit form possible. If you look at the top for the girl in the gray and you look at the bottom for the girl in the blue, you would find to come to understand that she's been trying to seduce me using her daughters in order to get illegal assurances of money from me. This, by the way, it was from July the 14th that she tried to do this. Before this, this was marked as an open advertisement for incest in the year 2024, and it was sent to me on July 21st, right over there. This cat commercial was an open advertisement for incest, marked as such in the year 2024, and yet sent to me on July 21st, after June 24th was overanalyzed, the brain savant test. Now, February 11th at 3:17 a.m., this was marked as an open advertisement for incest. That is Sunny Leone, by the way. That is Sunny Leone. Sunny Leone is a porn star. This was sent to me on February 11th at 3:17 a.m. Look at the time over here. This is March 7th at 2:07 a.m., 2:07 p.m., which means that it was already marked as an open advertisement for incest on February 11th at 3:17 a.m. Over here it says Farrakhan. Before it says Sunny Leone, basically comparing herself to a porn star and sending this picture to me. Very clearly being seen right over there, okay, who is basically, Sunny Leone is a porn star, and she, this was an obvious advertisement for incest, and yet it was sent to me on March the 7th 3 times, despite it being labeled as an open advertisement for incest on February 11th at 3:17 a.m., where law enforcement told them that this was an open advertisement for incest, and yet they still sent it to me. Yes, so basically, yeah, that is what has been going on. Even today, she's sending me ads for her abnormal looking ugly daughter, only due to realizing that I would not be interested in her ugly looking abnormal face. And so she's now advertising her daughter's cooking to me and saying that, yeah, we put your grandma's cooking to shame or something of that sort of nature, to try to advertise her abnormal looking ugly daughters to me, that I've told her on June 16th that I have absolutely no interest in. I do not want to marry them. I don't have any interest in them. Please leave me alone. I am not interested in them on June 16th. It's only been a few weeks since then. She sent me more than 80 requests for her abnormal looking ugly daughters, including the sexually explicit ways that I just showed you right now. Imagine a trial where someone, law enforcement goes to a person like Farrah the Greedy Framer, who's never witnessed me commit any crimes, never witnessed me do anything bad, even remotely considered bad. She is told by law enforcement that artificial intelligence has marked my brain savant has having the highest percentage chance out of any other human being on this planet right now, since there are only about 100 prodigious savants in the world right now, and I'm number one, marked by artificial intelligence as having the highest probability chance of becoming a billionaire out of any other human being on this planet. Law enforcement goes and tells Farrah the Greedy Framer this, and they say, and you know what else? Your daughters and you're not going to get a single penny of it. Someone else's daughter is. And Farrah the Greedy Framer then says, no, I'm not going to let that happen. And she starts fabricating false testimonies against me over and over and over and over again. And while she's arguing in court falsely that I'm a bad person for XYZ reason, at the same time, she's advertising her daughters to me all day, night long, including today, including yesterday, and at sometimes even doing it in the most sexually explicit form possible in order to try to seduce me for her daughters, only to try to get some of this money for herself and her daughters, only due to the June 24th brain savant test being overanalyzed. And if you look at the girl, top for the girl in the gray and the bottom for the girl in the blue, you would come to realize she's advertising her daughters to me in the most sexually perverted way possible, despite dressing up like a nun herself. So this is Farrah the Greedy Framer, and these are her actions, not her words. Now let me tell you something about her words. They've been made to deceive the courts since day one. On November 20th, 2025, while she's advertising her daughters to me, Farrah the Greedy Framer is fabricating a false testimony against me that's going to raise mass panic and chaos throughout the entire news media, and afterwards every government official is going to put aside the vaccine issue, confusion, taking the country by storm at that time, only to help deal with the mass panic and chaos that Farrah the Greedy Framer has raised against me, only due to her being told that my brain savant is the most profitable in the world right now, and her daughters are not getting any of it. Imagine a trial where a person who is fully seen, proven, without a reasonable doubt to be working on extreme greed and envy, and for no other reason but the fact that she and her daughters are not getting the money that artificial intelligence has marked by a person's brain savant as having the highest capability of making out of any other human being on the planet, and that is the reason she's narrating in a trial against a person where she's been caught lying over and over again. Imagine a trial where a person the law enforcement go over to a person and they say to her, hey, look, there's a person with a brain savant in your own family. His brain savant is marked as being the most profitable in the world. It's most likely to make him a billionaire in his lifetime if it gets freed, and it's about to get freed. If you don't help us out, you have to help us out. There are only 100 brain savants in the world right now. He's number one in terms of profitability, marked by artificial intelligence right now. And if you don't help us out, his brain savant's going to get freed, and all that money is going to go to some other person's daughter. She immediately says, no, I'm not going to let that happen. She immediately helps law enforcement make false testimonies against me that law enforcement knew were being fabricated even before November. She immediately tells law enforcement to start sending me ads for her abnormal looking, ugly, weirdo daughters all day and night long, just to harass me and try to force me to go with her abnormal looking, ugly daughters, proving extreme greed while at the same time proving extreme envy with her making false testimonies against me. Farrah the Greedy Framer was fully involved in the November 20th false testimony that was made against me. Absolutely, completely, and fully involved in that false testimony that she made against me, to the point that as soon as a government informant was announced, the government first moved by making sure she was not allowed anywhere near the spokesperson stand at that time. Farrah the Greedy Framer had the most highest reason reason to want my brain savant locked up due to the fact that she realized that she had 4 daughters. One of them keeps getting a divorce, and she cannot get her daughters married, and she wants those daughters to be married to me. Due to extreme greed of that brain savant money, and it's due to that Fur the Greedy Framer has been enviously fabricating false testimonies against me. Fur the Greedy Framer was completely caught on November 20th fabricating a fully fabricated false testimony against me, even though she was not the one who made it. She was completely involved in the fabrication process, where as soon as a government informant was announced, she was immediately kicked out of the spokesperson stand and not allowed anywhere near it. Then, in early January, she was aggressively making false testimonies against me, only to be found out that these false testimonies were already confessed to being lies to the government informant. Then, in early April, she was trying to make false testimonies against me very aggressively, only to find out that these false testimonies were found to be complete and total fabrications and lies from the facts and evidences retrieved from the phone conversations retrieved. Then in July, she was about to argue for another false testimony that Ibrahim the Greedy Framer was trying to make against me before this one was caught, before it was even pushed forward aggressively. These are the many false testimonies that Fur the Greedy Framer has already made against me, and she's already been caught making false testimonies, exaggerations, and completely exaggerated and false talking points against me. Fur the Greedy Framer has been caught over and over again making false testimonies and lies against me. Imagine a trial where a person is told, like Fur the Greedy Framer is told by law enforcement, Fur the Greedy Framer, you have someone in your family who has an extremely rare brain savant, only about 100 total in the world right now, and he has the most rare and profitable in the world right now. You and your daughters, by the way, are not getting a single penny out of it. And she then tells law enforcement that she's not going to let this happen, and she starts advertising her daughters to me more than 80 times in the past few weeks since June 16th, despite me telling her on June 16th that I'm not interested in her abnormal looking ugly daughters. And even today, August 15th, she's still advertising her daughters to me. Even today, with it saying stuff like, oh, we put your grandma's cooking to shame, because she knows that her daughters are so abnormal looking and ugly looking that the only thing she could advertise for these ugly ducklings is basically just their cooking, and that's what she's trying to advertise for them. Yes, she is a fabricator, she is an exaggerator, she is a framer, and we know this from facts and evidences. You have to really understand the fact that while I haven't been even remotely involved in any crime settings my entire life, Fur the Greedy Framer has committed numerous crimes against this country and this very intelligence agency that now desperately need her to lock up my brain savant. You have to understand the fact that Fur the Greedy Framer has helped has helped the terror-backed factions of the ISI kick out this very law enforcement team from the country of Pakistan in the year 2019. Fur the Greedy Framer was basically sleeping with someone in this very law enforcement team who is the person from this team who gets a monthly money every month from the fraud. So basically, she was sleeping with him till a person from terror-backed factions of the ISI that she was also obviously sleeping with told Fur the Greedy Framer that, look, we need these people from U.S. intelligence kicked out of our country, and we need your help in doing this. Fur the Greedy Framer then immediately let that person know that she'd be of their service and she'd help out in any way, shape, or form needed. These patriotic and good men that she calls them now, due to the fact that they've promised her that they'll either help her lock up my brain savant using false testimonies, or tried to force me to go with one of her abnormal looking ugly duckling daughters who are absolutely abnormal and no good. she made a false testimony against them in the year 2019. We know for a fact that it was absolutely false, since no woman is going to call men that tried to rape and murder her as being patriotic and good men for any other reason, just due to greed or money, when if those men had really tried to rape and murder her. And yet, if you read the scathing police report from the year 2019, you will find that Farrah the Greedy Framer was basically accusing these people of this very law enforcement team of raping and murdering the woman in the country of Pakistan in 2019. She was backed by terror-backed factions of the ISI. We know this for a fact due to the fact that the person who basically made the police report against her, against U.S. intelligence in 2019, gave her a guarantee. So the terror-backed factions of the ISI gave Farrah the Greedy Framer a guarantee that this police officer at this police station will not dare betray us by asking you any questions that you don't want to answer. Your police report is going to be already typed up. You go over there, you sign the report, and the next day it gets handed over to every news anchor in the country of Pakistan at that time to help us get U.S. law enforcement and U.S. intelligence kicked out of the country of Pakistan in the year 2019. We know this for a fact that she was working for terror-backed factions of the ISI, because that police officer who made the scathing police report for Farrah the Greedy Framer, and no, she didn't make that police report mainly due to the fact that she wasn't asked any questions, so that's not her making the police report. He fully, completely made that police report, the police officer. She was given assurances and guarantees by the terror-backed factions of the ISI that she will walk into that police station and she will sign a piece of paper, and the next day it will end up in the hands of every news anchor in the country of Pakistan in the year 2019, along with all those people out on the streets protesting, saying "Death to America," will all be told about this police report and given a copy of it to help U.S. law enforcement get kicked out, U.S. intelligence get kicked out of the country of Pakistan in the year 2019. Now, Farrah the Greedy Framer did do this in the year 2019. We know this for a fact due to the fact that the police officer who made the report for her, it has been found to have links to the terror-backed factions of the ISI. He was completely working for them, and this is a known fact. He was there. Literally, there could not be anyone else who could guarantee such a thing in a country. If in the U.S., if China, Russia, or India guaranteed me that, Hassan, you go over to the Cockeysville precinct for the police station, and he's not going to dare ask you this, and this question when you're making the police report, and all you have to do is walk in there, sign a piece of paper, and walk out. You think these people from China, Russia, and India are going to be able to stay in this country? No, absolutely not. The next day they'll be kicked out. The U.S. government's going to find out who these people were that police officers were working for in this country, and they're going to be kicked out immediately. Same thing in Pakistan in the year 2019. No one except for the ISI could guarantee such thing, but the ISI was working for their government, which was working for the U.S. government. The only people that weren't from the ISI were certain factions that were the terror-backed factions of the ISI that Farrah the Greedy Framer was definitely getting help from. And not only that, she was also getting intelligence from them about this very law enforcement team after she came over to the U.S. In fact, this very law enforcement team who are on her side right now can tell the courts why they used to put this on my TV home screen, except for the fact that she was receiving intelligence from some very deadly people while she was in the U.S., who at one time also told her to start carrying a knife because they told her that people from U.S. intelligence might be around you, so start carrying a knife with you at all times. And that she listened to them and she did that. Now, she could argue that, oh, it could be anyone. The only people that would provide Farrah the Greedy Framer with intelligence are people that Farrah the Greedy Framer themselves herself helped out. So she's gonna help them. It's you scratch my back, I scratch yours. She helped them out in helping get U.S. intelligence kicked out of the country of Pakistan in the year 2019. It made a scathing police report against the people she calls patriotic and good men right now, clearly proven from facts and evidences that no woman is gonna call that to a person who helped her. Who almost raped and murdered her, no matter how much money that this person guarantees she could be getting right now, if she tries to force me to go with her abnormal looking ugly daughters. Yes, so basically this thing that law enforcement put on my TV home screen, you can ask them yourselves, why did you put this on his TV home screen all day, night long? And the answer is very simple. Farah the Greedy Framer was getting intelligence from the terror-backed factions of the ISI, and they were informing her on every single thing that U.S. Law enforcement was telling her, how much of it was true, how much of it was false, what they were trying to hide from her, what they weren't telling her. Every single thing she was getting info on from the terror-backed faction of the ISI, the same people she helped to make that scathing police report against this patriotic and good men, only that they weren't patriotic and good at that time due to them, her having BFFs in the terror-backed factions of the ISI, that she wanted to help get these people kicked out of that country at that time. We know this for a fact due to the fact that the police officer who made the scathing police report against U.S. intelligence, basically, since when the news anchors were given this police report, they weren't told that this is a police report against this and this person. They were told that this is a police report against U.S. intelligence in Pakistan right now. You have to remember the fact that when the police report was given to the news anchors in the country of Pakistan in the year 2019, those news anchors in the country of Pakistan were not told that this is a police report against this and this person in the country. Obviously not. They were told that this is a police report against U.S. intelligence being able to stay in the country of Pakistan in the year 2019. They don't care who this person is, what their name is. The police report was against U.S. intelligence being able to stay in the country of Pakistan in the year 2019. So Farah the Greedy Framer was basically helping for the U.S. intelligence get kicked out of the country of Pakistan for the terror-backed factions of the ISI, and we know for a fact that these were the people that she was helping, since the police officer who made the scathing police report never asked her a single question that is asked in the police report of that kind, was completely working for the terror-backed factions of the ISI, and also due to the fact that we know for a fact that that police report was completely exaggerated and fabricated due to the fact that the questions that weren't asked, I can answer to you right now. Farah the Greedy Framer knew the person for years before she made the police report against him. She was sleeping with him for years before she made the police report against him. She had no reason to be hating this person or suddenly stop sleeping with him, except for the fact that one day she met with terror-backed factions of the ISI, and they guaranteed her that they would be of her service for the rest of her life if she would just be of their service at that time by helping them get U.S. intelligence kicked out of that country. And Farah the Greedy Framer, being as greedy as she is, literally sending me advertisements for her abnormal looking ugly daughters all day and night long, being as greedy as she is and lustful for power as she is, she agreed to the terror-backed factions of the ISI in helping them get U.S. intelligence kicked out for friends in powerful places in the year 2019. And that's the only reason she made that scathing police report. The facts and evidences will clearly prove, not just from the fact that she's referring to them as patriotic and good men right now, but the facts and evidences from the questions that were never asked in that police report will clearly prove. The questions like, did you know this person? Yes, she did. She used to text him all day and night long before she made the scathing police report. She used to sleep with him all day and night long before she made the scathing police report. She knew these people, this person from U.S. intelligence, and she was sleeping with him until one day she was told by her BFFs in the terror-backed factions of the ISI, and she literally slept with everyone in that city, including the real estate agent who literally had a small shop. Anyways, she was one of those people that would sleep with literally every single person in a city and would not spare mice in there, which is probably why she's no longer married. Anyways, that's a separate issue. The fact of the matter is, what ended up happening is her BFFs from the terror-backed factions of the ISI informed her that, Farah, look, the thing about it is just the fact that we need U.S. intelligence kicked out of this country. We need your help in doing so, and you're going to be a great help, since this one person that is trying to run after you, it doesn't just represent himself, he represents entire U.S. law enforcement. So if you could just stop sleeping with him and get him to follow you around everywhere, hopefully threaten you and things of that sort of nature, we'll have the police report ready so that the next day it ends up in the hands of every news anchor in the country as police report made against not an individual but U.S. intelligence in the country of Pakistan in the year 2019. When it does, we're going to have them kicked out, and that's exactly what happened. She went to a police station. The police officer was working for the terror-backed factions of the ISI. She was never asked the questions that are asked in this police report of the kind. How long have you been sleeping with the person? Have you known him for before? Why did you stop sleeping with him? None of this. She literally went in there, signed a piece of paper, a scathing police report. It ends up in the hands of every news anchor in the country of Pakistan at that time, right at the day after she signs it. Clearly proven from facts and evidences that she had help. And not only that she had help at that time, she had help when she came over to the U.S. When she came over to the U.S., they were saying that she was in contact with some very deadly people who were providing her with intelligence. And obviously, you don't have to be a genius to know that the same people whom she was helping to get U.S. intelligence kicked out of the country of Pakistan in 2019 were the people providing her with intelligence after she came over here. Now, the things that Farah the Greedy Framer you have to understand about is it's incredibly corrupt for a person to be trying to force someone to be marrying their daughters out of extreme greed for their brain savant money, while at the same time trying to narrate in a trial against them, despite them already being caught numerous times, already fabricating false testimonies against me. November 20th, she was kicked out of the witness stand as soon as a government spokesperson informant was announced. Early January, confessed lies. She knew it, and she was pushing them forward very aggressively. Early April, every single thing she said was a lie, from the facts and evidences retrieved from the phone conversations retrieved. July right now, Ibrahim the Greedy Framer spokesperson was trying to push forward a lie very aggressively that was found out as being complete total lie. She's made numerous false testimonies against me over and over and over and over again. She's even blackmailed me for millions of dollars as soon as her false testimonies from early January were caught. She's tried incest in every single way possible. I mean, this is August the 11th, only a few days ago, 3 minutes before midnight, and it says, why does Aunt May keep looking younger? Right over there. Okay, this abnormal looking ugly woman with some serious mental illness issues from her older days is running after money like crazy and an insane amount. The things that the court has to understand is the fact that Farah the Greedy Framer, so there you have it. She sent me this. This is March the 5th. And this was, I told her this was an open blackmail price tag for $60 million sent to me on February 21st, and this is March the 5th. By then, it had been sent to me at least 8 times. 8 times this blackmail price tag for $60 million since February 21st already sent to me, and she's still sending it to me as a blackmail price tag to try to force me to agree to giving her $60 million in exchange for her no longer making false testimonies and lies against me. You have to understand that this trial is incredibly corrupt. She made numerous false testimonies, lies, exaggerations against me. November 20th, government informant said that she due to which she was kicked out of the witness stand as soon as a government informant was announced. Early January, complete total lies, already confessed. Early April, complete total lies from the facts and evidence is retrieved from the phone conversation. Right now in July, complete total lie that Ibrahim, the Greedy Framer, spokesperson, was trying to make, and she was trying to repeat it for him. You know for a fact that she is a fabricator. You have the motive, which is her abnormal looking ugly daughters that she wants me married to, only due to law enforcement telling her that, hey, look, you've got someone in your family who has an extremely rare brain savant that's been marked as literally the most rare and profitable in the world. He's going to become a billionaire as faster than any other human being can on this planet, and you and your daughters are not going to get a penny of it, due to which she went ahead and she started making false testimonies against me. But while she's doing this out of extreme envy of locking it up so no one else's daughter could get what her abnormal looking, ugly, retarded looking daughters could not, she's at the same time sending me blackmail price tags very soon after getting caught with the first lies, and all day and night long, even including right now, she's sending me ads for her daughter. This is incredibly corrupt, which is why I always say that people who have not witnessed me commit any crimes, have nothing to do with this trial, should not be able to narrate in this trial just because they feel like they cannot get any money from me if my brain savant gets freed, and they're envious of the fact that someone else's daughter would. This is no reason to be narrating in a trial, especially when the Greedy Framer has already been caught lying against me over and over and over and over again. She has nothing that she knows about me that I could have even potentially have committed. She had U.S. intelligence almost kicked out of the country of Pakistan in 2019 by terror-backed factions of the ISI. That has been proven through the links that were made from the police officer who helped her make the scathing police report in 2019. I have, on the other hand, committed absolutely no crimes my entire life, never committed any conspiracy to commit any crimes, nothing of that sort nature ever in my life. This is absolutely wrong to be letting someone who has such an invalid motive against me in this trial right now, to be narrating in this trial against me right now, despite her having already made numerous false testimonies against me, has never witnessed me commit any crimes, never even witnessed me attempting to commit any crimes, never witnessed me having the conspiracy to commit any crimes, and she has almost had U.S. intelligence kicked out of the country in Pakistan in 2019, only due to her BFFs in the terror-backed factions of the ISI, who never asked her a single question when she was helping them make the police report against U.S. intelligence in 2019. She is now obviously only running after the extreme envy and extreme greed for money. People of this sort should not be allowed to narrate in a trial. It makes the trial incredibly corrupt. She's blackmailing me with price tags of money, as I just showed. She's sending me ads for her daughters all day and night long while claiming that I'm a bad person whose brain savant shouldn't get freed, only because her daughters cannot get the money that no one else daughters should get either. She has made numerous false testimonies against me, fabrications, exaggerations, November 20th, early January, early April, and July, over and over and over again. She has a history of being really good at a fabricator and exaggerator, as we saw in 2019, making it against U.S. intelligence to help U.S. intelligence get kicked out of that country for the terror-backed faction of the ISI, not only proven from the intelligence she was receiving while in this country that U.S. law enforcement themselves would testify to, but also due to the fact that the police officer who made the scathing police report will be linked to the terror-backed factions of the ISI. She's committed numerous crimes against this government, this intelligence. Now for the greed for money and the envy for that money going to someone else's daughter instead of her abnormal looking, ugly, duckling, weirdo daughters, she is now enviously trying to make narrations against me in this trial. She has no right doing so. She has never witnessed me commit any crimes, never witnessed me attempt to, never witnessed me conspire to commit any crime crimes of that sort of nature, while she has almost had U.S. law enforcement kicked out of the country of Pakistan in the year 2019. Just look and read the scathing police report against this very law enforcement team from the year 2019, and you will come to realize the kind of fabricator and exaggerator this woman is against these patriotic and good men, as she calls them now. While if she hasn't witnessed me commit any crimes, attempting to, conspiring to, doing anything of that sort of nature ever in my entire life, and all she's done is lie and fabricate false testimonies and exaggerations against me November 20th, early January, early April, July, and right now she's sending me sexually explicit pictures of girls just resembling her abnormal looking ugly daughters, like how she did on July 14th while dressing up like a nun, and she's sending me ads for her daughter abnormal looking ugly daughters all day night long right now. Then you have to understand that her motive is incredibly clear as being extreme greed for the brain savant money that she doesn't want anyone else's daughter to get, but only because she knows that her daughter cannot. She's never witnessed me commit any crimes. She's never witnessed me attempt to commit any crimes. She's never witnessed me conspire to commit any crimes, and the only reason she is narrating for law enforcement is due to her extreme greed and envy for my brain savant money, clearly proven from her still advertising her abnormal looking daughters to me more than 80 times, 80, in the past few weeks since June 16 alone, even advertising her abnormal looking ugly daughters to me even today. She has no right narrating in this trial. She's never witnessed me commit any crimes, attempting to commit any crimes, conspiring to commit any crimes. She has no right, even after being found as making false testimonies against me November 20th, early January, early April, and now even July. She has nothing to do with this trial. She should not be allowed to narrate in this trial only because I don't want to marry her abnormal looking ugly daughters. This is no reason. Greed and envy is no reason to be narrating in a trial, especially after you've been caught blackmailing me with price tags of millions of dollars, after you've been caught trying to force me to marry your daughters, even today, after you've been caught making numerous false testimonies against me. So that is it. Thank you.